I think about growing up. I was fortunate enough to live in an environment where both my mother and father both went to college. My father went to Florida A&M. My mother went to Howard University. And after they graduated from college, they both, before they met each other, moved back to Orlando. And that was the thing. All of the friends that went to college from that area, they all went off to various schools all throughout the country. PWIs, historically black colleges, but they had one common theme. They all wanted to make a difference in their local community. So when they all moved back, I guess they paid it forward. And where it was beneficial to me is growing up, I'd be like, hey, mom, hey, dad, I want to be an architect or I want to be a plumber. Whatever it was, they had someone in their network that looked like me, that spoke like me, that acted like me, that I could speak to and that I could talk to. And then when I got into education, fast forward, after I graduated from Morehouse with a bachelor's degree in mathematics, and when we linked up and pledged Alpha Phi Alpha and all the other great things we did along the way, I started teaching and I started saying, wow, a lot of these kids don't have someone in their network that looks like them. And so for me, that was why when we started brainstorming, that was what stuck with me the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's personal, right? And so for me, opposite to your experiences, we didn't have that network growing up. And I remember, now I know my mom was intentional about putting me in programs where I would see folks like me, where I could get that mentorship. But the defining moment for me was I remember my senior year, we were going to get a suit for for the honors day. And I was going to receive a scholarship award. And so my mom wanted me to be dressed. And we went into the store and she sought out gentlemen in the store that was well dressed, right? And for me, it was this idea of seek out people that are doing the things you want to do, right? And so that planted a seed through college, as you mentioned, at Morehouse, seeking mentorship. I was the first in my college to graduate, in my family to graduate from college. And so navigating those waters, I couldn't rely on my family necessarily. And so I was forced to go outside of that network. And so that was very real reality for me. And then I remember as, started my career pathways, always finding mentorship. And as I, whether it was investment banking and other places, there were very few that reflected me. And so then that's really where the passion around education came. And then I remember I was working in a college access program, a Gear Up program, and we took some young kids. We had been working with them all year, and kind of a finale was taking them on a college tour. And so we took them down to North Carolina. I remember this young lady, Shantae, coming up to me and she said, Mr. Nelson. Now this whole time she had wanted to do hair. She wanted to be a hairdresser. And I talked to her about owning her own salon and things of that nature. And she walked up to me in the middle of that college campus and said, I think I want to go to college. And so I understood the power of young people seeing themselves. We had set up different meetings with people that were from the DC area, right? And we taken these kids from DC to see themselves reflected in the college student. And so that was powerful, but at the same time, I knew that there was 100 other kids I had left behind that would have had that same kind of transformative experience. And so in my shoes is scaling up that opportunity.